Honestly, it's been a lot of nonsense. I think in my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base.
The WNBA's 2025 season opener was supposed to be a celebration, a showcase of the league's soaring popularity and the electric rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Instead, it detonated into a firestorm of controversy, exposing fractures in the league's credibility.
Rebecca Allen, too strong on a three. And
the fuse was lit when Reese shoved Fever forward Natasha Howard in the back with no whistle, only for Clark to retaliate with a hard foul that sent Reese crashing to the floor. The refs, scrambling to regain control, slapped Clark with a flagrant one and Reese with a technical, but the damage was done.
It's a basketball play, and to your point, it's now become the most inflammatory thing that's ever happened in basketball. What are we?
Social media erupted with fans screaming bias. 90% of the fouls on CC are more aggressive than the one they teed her up on. Can't understand why they're against her. The league's veneer of fairness was cracking, and the worst was yet to come.
Toward Angel Reese, I just want people to be mindful that whether you like it or not, anytime something happens with the two of them, one is automatically put as a victim and one is automatically put as someone who needs to be saved, when in reality...
Within hours, allegations exploded. Reese had been targeted by racist slurs from Fever fans. The WNBA swiftly launched its No Space for Hate investigation, but skepticism roared louder than the Gainbridge Fieldhouse crowd. Unless they produce video and audio evidence, then it didn't happen, one fan fired back, while others accused the league of hypocrisy. No space for hate except when it's towards CC, her teammates, and fans. The absence of concrete proof fueled conspiracy theories. Was this a smokescreen to deflect from Reese's uncalled foul? The league's silence was deafening.
on a three. And look out, Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Reese, and Angel Reese gets right up.
As the drama spiraled, the media frenzy reached a fever pitch. Outlets like CNN and ESPN amplified the racism narrative, while fans dissected every frame of footage, finding boos, not slurs. The crowd reaction came as a direct result of Reese's pathetic flop, argued one viewer, mocking the theatrics. The WNBA, desperate to salvage its image, now faced a brutal truth. This wasn't just about one game. It was a referendum on the league's integrity. Smash that like button, share this breakdown, and subscribe. This story is far from over. The real scandal wasn't Clark's foul. It was the shove that started it all. As Natasha Howard leaped for a rebound, Reese's two-handed push sent her stumbling, yet the refs stood frozen. The clip went viral, with fans howling. Angel Reese pushes Natasha Howard in the back before this play. Refs did not call it. Nobody's talking about that one. SMDH. The double standard was glaring. If Clark had thrown that elbow, the league would have suspended her. But Reese, she got a free pass. Again.
There's no place for that in our game. There's no place for that in society. And, certainly we want every person that comes into our arena, whether player, whether fan, to have a great experience. So
Clark's retaliation wasn't just a foul. It was frustration boiling over. Basketball play, Reese shrugged post-game. But the footage told another story. Her attempt to confront Clark post-foul, "Are you crazy?" was met with Aaliyah Boston's intervention. Yet it was Boston who got hit with a technical. The absurdity wasn't lost on fans. We can say whatever we want as long as it's not actually racist. The league's inconsistency was fueling outrage, and Reese's victim narrative was unraveling. The fallout? A league at war with itself. Fever fans, accused of racism without evidence, fired back. "You're just as bad as a racist judging a whole group on one person." Even neutral observers called out the theatrics. Angel sure sets a great example for the kids, yelling F-bombs and trying to attack Clark over a hard foul. The WNBA's refusal to address Reese's dirty play was backfiring, badly.
When I first walked in and saw the entire upper bowl full and the energy and the vibe, it's really great. And this has been a long time.
Commissioner Kathy Engelbert's No Space for Hate campaign launched days before the scandal. A coincidence? Hardly. Critics called it a preemptive strike to silence dissent, and the timing reeked of manipulation. The WNBA is going to ruin their momentum before it gets where it could be, lamented one fan, as number fire Engelbert trended. Her leadership was crumbling under the weight of PR disasters, from botched officiating to unverified racism claims.
It's been an incredible run from her so far. I think we're not surprised at all about her ability to pursue the ball, make plays, how committed she is.
The league's desperation was palpable. Last season, Sky GM falsely accused Fever fans of misconduct, a fact buried in the hype. Did they penalize Chicago for fake claims last season? Their own GM admitted it, one commenter seethed. Now, history was repeating. Without proof, the WNBA was alienating its base. Even players were divided. While Breanna Stewart vaguely condemned fan behavior, Clark stayed above the fray, saying, "It's just basketball," a stark contrast to Reese's smirk and silence routine. The solution? Fans demanded accountability, starting at the top. "Nancy Lieberman for commissioner!" became a rallying cry, a nod to the Hall of Famer's no-nonsense legacy. The WNBA needed a leader who'd prioritize fairness over narratives. Until then, the chaos would reign. Sound off in the comments? Was Reese wronged, or is this a smear job? Smash like if you demand proof, subscribe for the next explosive twist, and share this before the league buries it.
That is remarkable. She's up there with rebounds, up there with steals. And she'll take the first three-pointer, and point shooters at all kinds of...
The moment the Clark-Reese altercation hit social media, the sports media industrial complex kicked into overdrive, but not to report facts. Instead, they weaponized the drama to fit pre-existing narratives. ESPN ran headlines screaming racist abuse at Fever game, while The Guardian painted Indiana fans as a mob of bigots, all without a single verified audio clip. Fans weren't fooled. If it was there, there'd be video of it already, one tweeted. The media's rush to condemn an entire fan base reeked of agenda-driven sensationalism.
Team Clark or Team Reese, although you can certainly be both, right? The aftermath, the fact...
Meanwhile, Reese's uncalled shove on Howard was conspicuously absent from coverage. "They'll cry racism but ignore dirty play," another fan fumed. The double standard was glaring. Outlets that spent months hyping Clark as the WNBA's golden girl now framed her as the aggressor, while Reese's history of on-court antics was whitewashed. Even Reese's own teammate, Camila Cardoso, was caught laughing at the chaos, further undermining the victim narrative. The truth? This wasn't journalism, it was narrative laundering. The fallout? Trust in WNBA coverage has cratered. The media loves painting Clark as the hero and Reese as the villain, but what if they're both being used? One observer noted. With every unverified claim amplified, real issues, like the league's abysmal officiating, got buried. The press had a choice: hold the league accountable or keep chasing clicks. So far, clicks were winning. Racism in sports is real, but was it happening here? The WNBA's vague investigation into alleged slurs at Reese raised more questions than answers. No specific claims were made, no witnesses came forward, and Fever fans, many of whom were recording, found no evidence. "Really, we all know nobody said anything to Reese," one commenter scoffed. "They're just mad because they got blown out and can't draw 5,000 fans. It's called jealousy." The league's handling of the situation only deepened suspicions. Last season, Chicago's GM admitted to fabricating fan misconduct claims, yet faced zero consequences. Now, history seemed to repeat. "You must high-five and cheer for all teams equally," a fan mocked. Since when is booing a villain player racism? Even Reese's past behavior complicated the narrative. Her "you can't see me" taunts and F-bomb-laden rants hardly painted her as a passive victim. The danger? Crying wolf on racism risks trivializing real cases. The WNBA needs to attend a few games, one longtime viewer wrote. Fans everywhere boo their opponents. That's sports. If the league couldn't distinguish between heckling and hate, its No Space for Hate campaign would become a laughingstock, and worse, undermine genuine anti-racism efforts.
Rebecca Allen, too strong on a three. And
the WNBA loves Clark versus Reese, but at what cost? From their NCAA showdown to now, the league has milked their feud for every ratings drop. But this wasn't Magic versus Bird. It was a manufactured WWE-style grudge match, complete with scripted villainy and selective outrage. If it wasn't for Reese's hatred for Clark, I wouldn't even know the WNBA was still around. One fan admitted the league's addiction to drama was cannibalizing its credibility.
I love Haley. I love her family. You'll see her dad a lot. I love her dad too. So I'm just super excited for her to be in the right place. And I tell players all the time, like,
Reese played her role perfectly, taunting, shoving, and playing the victim when the energy returned. Clark, meanwhile, just wanted to hoop. But the league kept forcing her into the narrative. Angel Reese is fast becoming the Colin Kaepernick of the WNBA, one tweet read, except Kaepernick protested systemic injustice, while Reese seemed to protest hard fouls. The comparison was telling. The league faced a reckoning. Real rivalries grow organically. Forced ones backfire. If the WNBA kept prioritizing headlines over basketball, fans would tune out and take their money with them. Indiana's fan base wasn't just mad, they were furious. After being branded racists with zero proof, they flooded social media with videos showing Reese being booed, not abused. Booing a villain isn't racism, it's tradition, one argued. Others pointed out the hypocrisy. Oh, it's very real. Racism is strong in the WNBA, and it ain't against the black players.
The aftermath, the fact that the WNBA has to put out a statement because of racist comments and unsafe conditions toward Angel Reese.
The Fever organization didn't help, issuing a vague statement about unacceptable behavior without specifics. Fans felt scapegoated. The Fever do themselves no favors publishing baseless allegations. If you have video, fine. But they don't. The lack of transparency fueled conspiracy theories. Was this a cover-up for the league's incompetent officiating? The lesson? False accusations hurt real victims. If the WNBA couldn't prove its claims, it risked turning fans and sponsors against the league for good. Most WNBA stars stayed quiet, and that spoke volumes. Aja Wilson liked pro-Reese tweets but didn't confirm slurs. Breanna Stewart vaguely called for better fan behavior, but didn't name Indiana. The deafening silence suggested even players doubted the narrative. Meanwhile, Clark took the high road. It's just basketball. While Reese smirked through post-game interviews, letting her camp push unverified claims. The contrast was stark. If this was truly about racism, why wasn't the entire league united in outrage? The answer? This wasn't about justice, it was about control. The WNBA wanted to police fan speech, but without evidence, it looked like a power grab. The league stands at a crossroads. Does it want to be a serious sports organization or a reality TV sideshow? Every misstep, phantom racism claims, biased officiating, Engelbert's incompetence, pushes it closer to irrelevance. Fans are fed up. Nancy Lieberman for commissioner. Trends Daily, a cry for leadership that prioritizes basketball over drama. Sponsors are watching. The clock is ticking. Last chance. Was Reese targeted, or is this a smear job? Drop your take below. Smash like if you demand accountability, and subscribe. the WNBA won't want you to see what happens next.